Everybody, it's me, Shane. I'm here to give you another Digimon Ghost Game episode review and recap. I'm gonna move a little bit back here so you can see me better. Today's episode is entitled Rust, episode 44. Before I go any further, please do not forget to hit that like button. That like button is actually very important. If you are enjoying the videos, if you enjoy the reviews, just drop me a like. Those things matter 1,000%. I promise you they do. I'm not a big, as you can see, actually looking around here, look down there, you see that subscriber count. As you can see, I'm not one of the big guys. I actually need your support. And as well, don't forget to hit the comment section up. I like it when you guys tell me if I forgot something, if I got something wrong. I'd like to hear your opinions on these things, so please do not hesitate to drop me a line down there. And please, as always, I need you to hit that subscribe button if you're new here. And even if you aren't new, hit the notification bell so you can be notified of more things just like this. And by things, I mean these reviews. So, this episode starts off where someone hears someone just calling to them. And this episode is actually quite interesting. Quite interesting, I must say. And as he hears this, the building starts to rumble. As it starts to rumble and shake, him and other people that live in this building are forced to get out. And it just noticed that it's just this building that's rumbling. Well, the next morning, the one guy, Hiro's friend, I think his name's Kota, I can't remember. Dude is superficial. He is the definition of a teen. He is something else. But anyway, he has this brand new, I think it's a shirt or something, and a classmate has gotten it for him. As a matter of fact, there are tons of their classmates over there vying for wanting things from this guy. And what I found the most satisfying from this conversation is that while he's talking, Jellymon is just, because it wasn't a shirt, it was glasses. And while he's talking, Jellymon kind of offers him a croissant, and it's adorable. And Jellymon even goes, "Hey, are the glasses, are they delicious?" He's like, "No, this is not chocolate. Sorry about that." So meanwhile, at home, a woman said she saw something running down the hall, and her husband, boyfriend, whomever he may be, like, "Oh no, it's probably nothing." He tries to get water, and rust comes out. And if you guys ever seen brown water come out of a faucet, it is nasty. Trust me. Anywho, their home, only place that's shaking. Him, wife, kid, all outside. Only place that's shaking. I guess that would be his wife, wouldn't it? Meanwhile, the next day, where am I at here? The guy's friend got something for him. He got, there's some guy that wanted a shirt or something. It was special. And guy's like, "Oh, I gotta go get it. I'm gonna ask him for it." And Hero's just kind of just looking at it or whatever. And Hero's like, "Man, with all this commotion, Senpai Kirishiro, he'll be up in arms, right?" But he's out on business. He's out on business. But Hiro takes Jellymon to the room to get some chocolate because Jellymon wants some snacks. Get that boy some snacks. And while they're there, Espimon is in there reaching and just eating some of the candy. And Jellymon like, "No, he's eating all of it." He's like, "No, I only had like one or two." He's like, "No, you had more," which he did. And he's like, "Well, I'll just go out and find some snacks." And Hero's like, "You're not gonna steal anything, are you?" And just like, like, yeah, obviously he's gonna steal something. And Hero's like, "You know what? I'll give you what was gonna be my midnight snack, which is some ramen, instant ramen." And while he's eating, he's like, "Hey, I heard about something at an apartment that might interest you." He's like, what were you doing over there? He's like, "Hey, I wouldn't do anything nefarious." Which, who knows at this point? He still calls Hiro fake Hiro, which is just, it's so exasperating. Anyway, he heard about people hearing voices and then a building shaking, and it's the only thing that's shaking around. And he figured that he would be interested in it. So, Hiro tells him, "Hey, tell me which apartment." Hiro's super serious. "Tell me which apartment." They go to the apartment that was shaking, as we saw earlier. And police on bikes come by and say, "Hey, kid, what are you doing here so late?" It's midnight, mind you. And literally down the block, another apartment building starts to shake. Obviously, Hiro follows the police, or the police follow him. Either way it goes, they get there. And everyone's out there, and people are saying, "Oh, I heard voices," and there was a woman screaming. And there's rust all over her door, and there's Espimon, says, "Hey, fake Hiro," points to these cracks that are in the building. And Hiro's just like, what the heck is going on here? And the woman claims she saw an elf. Digimon elves. Going into this, guys, I didn't know what Digimon it was, and I'm happy about that. So, we're going to follow up with really wondering why he didn't invite her. He's like, well, it was midnight. And in my mind, I'm like, well, the last time they tried to invite you to a thing, you kind of blew them off. So, get out of here. Anyway, he asked if she heard anything about building shaking or rust, and she's like, no. And he says, well, what about elves? And, looking on her website, about elves granting wishes. And she's like, yeah, there has been something. Someone wrote something about that if you ask the site, an elf will leave something on your pillow the next morning. And Hiro's starting to put two and two together. He's like, my friend was promised that shirt the next morning. All these people are getting all these things. Okay. So he goes and he asks the boy, hey, how are you getting all this stuff? He's like, I can't tell you that. Teedly heedly hee hee hee. All right. And all these selfish boys push him out the way because they just want to ask for stuff. There are so many layers to this episode, and this feels like I've been watching for Cartoon Network's birthday. They've been putting up a lot of their old shows, and I've been watching a lot of not just Ed and Nitty, but regular show. And there's another show on there too, but I love shows that have layers to it, and this has some layers to it. So Hiro looks around, but there are cracks in the building, just like there are cracks in the dorm, just like there are cracks in the other building. And now the bike shelter falls, or should I say the storage room falls right outside the dorm. Hiro's like, okay. Talks to what is her name? Talks to Rule again, and it's called the reward elf. That's what they call the elf. And there's rust on the hand railings and everything. Eventually, Hiro goes and confronts the guy again and says, reward elf. I love stuff like that in movies or in shows where you just say one word and the guy's like, hey, come over here and talk to me. Reward elf. And Hiro goes, look, I know about this. I just want to know, how are you contacting and getting this stuff? And he's like, I just, happened upon this site, right? And Hiro's telling him, the storehouse fell down. The dorm's going to be in trouble. So he shows Hiro the site. And my God, I'm going to tell you, I assumed it was Jellymon when I saw this, but I was like, I don't want to assume. And on the side it says, my no gel. And I'm like, and Hiro says it in English, my no gel. Gel. And guy's like, wait a minute, I thought you knew about it. You just tricked me. And he's like, I'm going to lose friends if I can't do this. And it's like, wow. You want friends so bad you're willing to buy them. I actually knew a young man like that. Those aren't really your friends. There's a song about this. There's a couple of songs about this. But yeah. Wow. Anyway, Hiro remembers the site. Goes on the site. He sees, all the check boxes. What do you want? And Gammon's like, Psycho. He's like, all right, I'm going to ask for some champion chocolate. So they pretend to go to sleep, and I can't even believe I forgot to pull up the Digimon of the day. The Digimon of the day is another veteran Digimon, one of the 12 Devas from season 3. It's actually they are always Devas in the Digimon Encyclopedia, but this one, if you remember, one of the 12 Devas. The Digimon that came from Lopmon. That's right, everybody. It is Antilemon good. I guess there's Antilemon evil. Oh, yeah, there is an Antilemon evil. Which these guys actually look like Antilemon evil. But here's the good one. Just going to dial that back a little bit. Oh, God, why is it so bright? Oh, that's good. And that's evil. They look like the evil one. Because they didn't have the neck scarf. They just had that. And interesting enough how they drew this, each of them looked different. I'm actually like, it was subtle differences in how their faces were drawn, and I think some of them had like one of them had like a greenish lines on them. So here's the funny part. This Digimon is normally like very, very large, like building size, or even 12,000 feet. Now, in Japanese, his name is Andromon, but we're going to call him Antilemon. At least I'm pretty sure it's Antilemon. Yep, call it Andromon. We're going to call him Antilemon, because that's all I know him as, and that's how they're going to be. So this is an ultimate level Digimon, which has the appearance of a rabbit from the 12 holy beasts of Oriental legends, the Zodiac. It is able to freely manipulate the ki flowing through its body, allowing it to interact with softness as well as hardness, which it does turn its body into like iron. So that at times it's flexible as it's flowing, as if it were moving like a water, and at other times it unleashes heavy blows like iron. Its signature move is recovering from any damage in an instant, called Meditation Cure. Its special move is hardening its body to the level of Chrome Digizoid, the hardest living metal in Digimon, and unleashing a mighty blow, and this is called Mantra Chant. Now, we did see in Digimon Savers, as well as other shows, where Antilemon is around, it can turn its body parts into weapons and stuff. Haven't really seen the encyclopedia thing here show up. But yeah, this is Antilemon. This version of it is ultimate virus type. Interesting. So, like I told you before, showed up. Oh, the first evil version of this actually showed up in the Digimon season 2 movie, which in English. So in America, the Digimon movie was actually 3 different movies mushed into one product, which was the first movie with Tai and Hikari and that giant ass Greymon. The second one was the kids versus Diaboromon, and the third one was the one with Davis meeting Willis, and we got to see Terriermon and, you know, that big ugly thing that turned into Antilemon. I can't remember its name, but yeah, Wendigomon. I don't remember its English name, but yeah. So we got a little bit of, you know, Digimon legends in this. As I digress, I'm sorry. They are tiny, like this big. 3 of them, and there's one that's the leader, has a phone, and it's like, this one wants champion chocolate for the order. They do Tai Chi. The other ones do Tai Chi. I'm enjoying it greatly, especially when you talk about Chi. Here spelled, you know, Qui, but it's Chi. And Hiro and Gammamon both pretend to be awake. They drop this giant jiggly chocolate. Anime food looks so good at times. And they're following them. They see them go into one room. Then they see them go into Ki or Shiro's room. And they knock on the door. He's like, Senpai's supposed to be gone. Jellymon pokes her jellyfish head out. He's like, yeah, we saw 3 Digimon go in there. And she's like, oh, hold on a second. She opens the door, and he walks in, looks, and sees Mino Gel Management. Obviously, he's like, Jellymon, you did this. She's like, yeah, I started a business with Antilemon when they met up with me, and that's where you get the name drop. I didn't even pay attention to how she actually said their name. Probably it's Andromon, but Antilemon. And they gave her this Digiphone, which is all the rage in the digital world. Digimon have phones in the digital world? Wow. I digress. So she's been helping them with orders, and he's like, and she explains, yeah, they make anything with spiritual energy. And they get to Dude's room, and Dude has asked for all this stuff for people, and they're just pushing out stuff, and rust starts to develop, and cracks are forming more and more. He's like, are you sure they make it out of nothing? Like, what materials are they getting? Like, we see them make a figure just come out of the sky out of nothing, but they're using the iron that's around there. Spoiler, I went ahead, but they're using the iron. She even surprised, like, they don't use anything, right? Nope. Everything starts to shake and jumble. People run. They go to the Antilemon at Dude's room and they tell him, like, hey, you got to stop this. And the lead flat out says, in order to cancel, the customer ran away. In order to cancel any orders, they have to go through the proper channels. And Jellymon's like, whatever, just cancel them. He goes, if you're trying to get in the way of our work, we will show no mercy. And their eyes do a little slanty squint. And they start to grow. And I'm like, oh, okay. So they have a mobile form as well as the real size. The moment they started to grow, Hiro's like, nah, double click. They're in the digital world now. And they're like, what have you done? It's time to book it, right? Not really, because Gammamon's ready to fight, turns into Battle Gammamon. And I mentioned Digimon, the Digimon movies. This quality of animation, no matter what I say about the production team, whoever, and by production team I mean the people who are writing the stories. So let me say this again. No matter what I say about whoever's writing the stories and coming up with this, because some of the stuff is a lot of cracks, a lot of holes. Whoever does the animation, you are doing a wonderful job, because the quick little fight where Battle Gammamon gets punched through the wall and they chase after him, it's movie quality. Meanwhile, Ruli is on her way with Angramon. They get there, they give Hiro and Jellymon a ride. It's 3-on-1. Again, this is an ultimate level Digimon. I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's ultimate level Digimon. Plus, it's technically one of the stronger ones. Let's see what happens here. Angramon shows up. Digivolves into Simba Angramon. They fight. They do the meditation move to do the Iron Fist. And they're kicking their butts. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, this is so very convenient for Kirishiro to not be here. This is what I said last episode and episode before last. It does nothing for you to just have 3 humans and 3 partners. And then when someone's gone, either both are gone or one is gone and there's nothing you can do about it. And it's just, I get that it builds drama, at the same time it's really dumb, especially when Jellymon has digivolved and done moves with these other two. So why didn't that happen here? Alright. But anyway, Landelizer doesn't work, Sure Shot doesn't work, so it's time for the ultimate evolution time. We get Lemurmon and we get Kano Weissmon. They're fighting. And Kano Weissmon, Kano Weissmon's taking on 2. Angramon's taking on 1. Lemurmon's taking on 1. And Dragonia hits one. The slice move that Lemurmon does, you see the cuts on them. That's what this picture is. Do you see the digital lines? Because I'm like, oh, they're actually going to kill them. No, they do the meditation healing. Instantly heals up. And Hiro's like, yeah, they keep healing instantly like this. We're going to run out of time for Kano Weissmon. Jellymon, how do we cancel these orders? And she squishes her little, she's now gone from like the leg mode to her little Jellymon, squishes her head. She's like, I made it so that you can only cancel the orders from the user's PC that you ordered from. He's like, why would you do that? And in my mind, I'm like, that is kind of secure, but at the same time, if someone hacked in and made the order someplace else under your own account, that would be messy. Like, I'm thinking about real world applications for this. I'm like, that is smart, but at the same time, there is some problems with that. And she said Antilemon wanted a secure system. And she's like, I'll go find the computer and cancel all the guys' orders. So she goes off. She's looking for the computer in this world. So I'm guessing as long as a human, I'm not guessing, is my theory, as what I've seen in the show, that as long as a human is not holding on to an item, it will show up in the digital upside down area for them to use. But even if you're using it in the digital upside down, It probably won't get damaged. I don't know. Because he was holding onto his computer, which is technically a little tablet thing, but it folded into a computer while he was stuck on the elevator. A teacher had to go and get him. And Jellymon's looking for her frantically. And while she's frantically looking, they're fighting. And time's running out for both Lemormon and Canon Weissmon. And now they're back to back. Ruli, Hiro, Simba Angramon, Bezel Gamamon. They're getting ready to just hit him in the head, and it's getting down to the wire. And Dude drops his computer inside the elevator. The building looks like it's about to collapse because they've used a lot of the iron. And it's funny because I skipped over a part where Hiro was on the phone with Ruli. That's how they knew to come there. He was on the phone, and when Angramon properly identified them and said, "Oh, yeah, they don't make anything from nothing. That's not how that works. They're using the iron." And he's like, "Yeah, the handrails are rusty. You need to get out because the building's going to collapse, right?" And it was collapsing. Dude drops his computer. Jellymon finds it, and she's canceling every order. She's like, "Cancelu, cancelu." She's using head tentacles, hands, and it's getting to the wire. And she hits the last cancel button before they get hit. He's like, "Everything has been properly canceled, and they are saved." Trust me, I know I'm getting ahead of myself. Watch this episode. And now, Kirishiro comes up. He's back from his business trip, and he looks and sees the dorm a mess. And they're all flying. They're in their tiny Antilemon forms, and Hiro's like, "Hey, since all the orders are canceled, can you fix the building?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." Building is fixed. Everyone is shocked and confused. And now is the morning time. Hiro is tired, hence the yawning that he's doing. And this is something this is one reason I really like this episode. Kirishiro is reprimanding Jellymon, who she goes, "I didn't know they were draining iron with their spirit energy." And he tells her no business is run for free. Nothing is run for free. You know, part of running a business is checking your materials. The whole time he's like holding her face and kind of stretching it, like reprimanding her. And, you know, he tells her you need to cancel every last order and give them back the Digiphone. And her face turns red. Her whole body turns red. Steam blows out of her. She turns flat, wiggles down to the ground, turns into her legged battle form. And she, like, you know, her cheeks are kind of pinkish red. And she says, "I'm very sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen." And I'm like, did we just get some growth from Jellymon? Oh, okay. And so the lead Antilemon tells them, in the digital world, they made anything and everything people wanted. It didn't matter. They wanted to make people happy. And we get this backstory. And we see them in their normal forms fixing Hiro's dad's flip-flop. He's like, "Wow, you rearranged the matter and blah, 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 blah. This would be helpful for anybody, anywhere." And, the lead one, instead of the slanty eyes, he gets the big, happy, glistening eyes. And Ruli says it properly, like I've been saying it. "So this is your dad's fault." And the Antilemon, they just basically said all we wanted to do is just make people happy. And they all look at each other, and Kirishiro goes, "All right," and leads them to this recycling plant. He says, "While on my business trip, I've been developing a system for the recycling plant. You can use all the, materials here." And Hiro goes, "Make sure people don't see you." And, towards the end, we do see them, all three of them doing Tai Chi, and I love it. So, this is a really good solution. Meanwhile, Angramon says, "It is hard to forge iron that is too hot. Sometimes you have to cool off for your own good." I like it. That's actually a good one. Angramon. So, things did actually get very hot today, and there we go. We get the research at the end of this. Ruli makes fun, teases Kirishiro about they made a figure that moved at night, stuff that would mess with him. He's like, "I'm gonna have it all exercised." And next episode is about ghost papers. I have no clue who the Digimon is again. Claps for that. This episode gets a 4 out of 5. Why does this episode get a 4 out of 5? I'm dang near close to giving it a 4.5, but it gets a 4 out of 5 because that battle animation was so good. I always find it weird in other animes when people go, "Oh, X show was bad and it's carried by its animation." Well, anything that you watch in a medium that's supposed to be viewed, whether it's this laptop I have to my left here, the screen over here that has the YouTube, you want to see something good, even if it's an action movie, horror movie, anime. We're watching these things and they should look good. Unless you want to watch something like Super Milk Chan or Shin Chan, which even then the quality on those episodes have actually went up as well. So you get points from me for this looking good. You also get points for Legacy Digimon and Antilemon or Andromon, whatever you want to call them, and you get credit for showing how strong they are. 1, 2. The solution to the problem at the end was very, it's very Deus Exy for him to be like, "Oh, well, I just happen to be doing this," but it works out because now they have a place where they just want to make people happy. They want to make things for people. Now you have all these materials that can go away. It seems like the one person benefiting from some of the Digimon stuff seems to be Hiro at times, except for that Snowblower Digimon that was just couldn't tell people that, "Oh, I'm just trying to help these Digimon not freeze." You just had to kill other people, right? I digress. Hiro's dad he's trying not to curse in these. He messes up way too much. If all of this toil and strife is his fault, man, you're going to have to answer for your crimes sooner or later. I'm going to need us to come on, let's congeal an actual plot in here. Unless this is what Digimon is just going to be. Just, I'm enjoying the theming with, now we got elves. Next week's going to be Ghost Paper, where you may or may not die, which is fine. But I'm definitely looking forward to a little bit more substance. But all in all, I would recommend this. This is probably one of the better episodes I've seen in a while. Not counting that good 3 to 4 week stint we had. This is actually pretty good. I'm enjoying this. So, as always, let me know what you thought of the episode in the comment section down below. Do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos like this. And do not forget, you can share the video so others can see what a grand old time we're having. As always, thank you for taking some time out to spend some time with me. Please, 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 be good, be blessed, wash your hands, wear a mask, be safe out there. Be good to yourself, be good to your others. Either way it goes, don't be a jerk. And above all things, you're not alone. There's someone around that cares about you. And don't you forget it. As always, guys, I am Shane, and I will most definitely see you guys next time. I'm trying to wonder what is next week's Digimon gonna be. I